Hi Liptons. I wanted to come in here and do a quick pop culture video. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. And I tweeted about this and I said it in my last video. Pop culture has not been giving me like the enjoyment, like that sort of like adrenaline. Like it's been extremely boring in these pop culture streets. Like I feel like ever since like the end of going towards like the end of 2025 into 2026, pop culture has been extremely boring. It's been very few topics that I've been interested in talking about on my channel. So it's very few, but it's like usually like with majority of like the topics that I talk about, I like to talk about all of them. But like it's just been a while since I haven't really seen anything that's like caught my eye. So it's like these stories that I'm gonna talk about today is kind of like scratching the barrel. Like once you finish everything, now you just got to get the crust. These are what these topics are about. So first I'm gonna discuss Euphoria. Euphoria is coming back. Then I'm gonna discuss I have someone been keeping up with the Blake Lively case, and like there has been new updates on that, so I'm gonna read an article on that and also talk about the Hadid sisters and this whole bullshit Jeffrey Epstein thing that they try to tie the Hadids to. So before I continue on with this video, please subscribe to the channel. If y'all do want to watch my past pop culture talk reviews, I did create a whole playlist on that on my YouTube channel. You guys can go to my pop culture talk playlist. I made a ton of videos in the past if you guys are interested. I've also done different videos about politics, about if y'all want to see some like international pop culture news. Like I do also like Bollywood news here and there. So if you guys are also interested in that, you guys can look at that. I created a playlist on that. So first let's discuss Euphoria. So listen, Euphoria is coming back on Sunday. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I hopped on like the whole watching Euphoria train pretty late. So like when it first premiered, I didn't watch it per se, but then afterwards I watched it and I thought it was cool. I do feel like Euphoria is it's like the more like extreme explicit version of Degrassi. If I'm going to be honest with you guys, like if the people who grew up with Degrassi, you guys will understand where I'm coming from. Like it's just like the more like it's like extreme. It's like Degrassi on steroids to a point, and it's like there's just certain things where it's just I feel like okay, like we don't need all of that. Like sometimes less is more. So that's the vibe I get from Euphoria. Like Euphoria feels like okay, like let's just throw a penis in our face, so let's just throw a titty in my face, and then it's like we're just gonna praise it for being so real and so cool. But it's just like, yo, like sometimes less is more. And that's how you can also tell like they don't have really nothing to kind of write about or nothing that they're really trying to tell us if they start like it's just mainly just private parts all up in our face. Like, and that's how I felt especially in season 2. Like it's just the nudity was just like off the chain, and it was to the point where I'm just like, okay bro, like I'm about to go full like conservative modesty on y'all asses right now. Like cover up, bro. Like enough is enough. I'm tired of seeing the penises and the breasts and the vaginas. Like it's too much. But I mean, for overall, I thought the stories were cute. I have nothing else to watch this weekend, so I guess I'll tune into season 3. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I do hope that season 3 is the last season, because I don't know how else, like what y'all just gonna keep doing this like sort of like pornography light kind of storyline on us for like the next couple of seasons. Like just end it here, just hang it up right here and let's move on. So yeah, like I don't know, I also feel like maybe it's just me, but have y'all noticed that they haven't been promoting the show? Like I feel like I'm on the internet, but it's like usually like some of the blogs, like they'll post like when someone is on a press run or something like that. But it's like Zendaya's on the press run for the drama, and I get it, the drama came out right now, so she's trying to promote that and have people go to the movie theaters for that. But it's also like, girl, the premiere of Euphoria, and then again, I think there's supposed to be a premiere on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe we'll see all the classic. But usually, like there's like a build up to it, but I haven't really seen like promo that much for Euphoria. And I know people are trying to say, oh, maybe it's because the cast doesn't like Sydney Sweeney for her views or blah blah blah, and then Jacob Elordi and Zendaya used to be a thing. I don't know. I don't think it's that deep. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't think it's that deep. But it is interesting that like I just feel like the promo is not there. And I'm gonna be honest with you, out of this cast, it's like the ones that became obviously Zendaya was like a star before she came into the show, but Jacob Elordi really like popped off. He's like at this point like he's getting some big roles. Like I liked his role in Frankenstein. I know he did that movie with Margot Robbie, and I heard some bad reviews about it, but I don't know. I think it's called Wuthering Heights or something like that. But like he really popped off, and then Sydney Sweeney too. She's they're trying to make her America's exotic sweetheart vibe. You know what I mean? So they try to make her, she's trying to portray herself as that and trying to get these roles. So I feel like it's like the three. It's like Zendaya and Jacob Elordi and Sydney Sweeney. I know Hunter's trying to do some acting stuff, and I don't know if she's in the Hunger Games or something like that. But yeah, other than that, like, what's her name? Alexi Demi? Is that her name? She's not really in anything. Like, apart from Euphoria, I haven't seen her in anything. And this other actress right here that plays Cassie's sister, I'm forgetting her name. I don't know her name, but like I haven't seen her in anything either. So, but yeah, I mean, I'll definitely tune in and I'll see if I'm gonna do some reviews on it. If I feel like it hooks me enough to do a review about it. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I low-key forgot like what the hell happened in season 2. Like I got the gist of some of the things, but like I forgot. Like I know something happened with the drugs or something with Rue. It was in a suitcase or something like that. But I feel like I need to go back and rewatch all of that. So, but yeah, so Euphoria is coming back on Sunday, but we'll see if there's any tension on the red carpets because I think the premiere is coming out tomorrow. So I'm definitely going to be some like an eagle-eyed watcher to see the body language and things like that, to see how people are on the red carpet, okay? So we'll see. Next, Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Listen, I'm just going to go to the article with this one because I don't want to be too long. Let me go to the article. So they're saying that like her claims got tossed out. They're saying that majority... Okay, so it says here, Blake Lively spoke out after majority of her lawsuit against Justin Baldoni was dismissed. Okay? So it says here on Thursday, a judge dismissed 10 out of 13. Wow! 10 out of 13 of Blake Lively's claims, most notably her sexual harassment. Allegations of sexual harassment. While the judge concluded the harassment allegations were far from baseless, they were dismissed as he found that Lively was an independent contractor rather than an employee. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. That, to me, this whole independent contractor employee thing makes absolutely no sense to me. If I'm harassed, I'm harassed. Like, what does me being an independent contractor or an employee have to do with anything? If I'm harassed in the workplace, I'm harassed in the workplace. Point blank period. I don't care if I'm independent. I feel like they need to change the law when it comes to that. Like, 'cause I feel like that doesn't really protect. And I'm not saying, I don't know. I still don't know. I'm gonna wait until this whole situation, because it's gonna go to trial. So we're gonna see what happens, what comes out of it. But so they said that because she was an independent contractor and not an employee, that California protections didn't extend to New Jersey location of the shoot. They are set to go on to trial over her claims of retaliation. Also, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know. Like, I don't get the whole... I mean, I know she's saying that, like, he had this whole online campaign against her, da-da-da-da. But it's like, I don't know. Either way, on Friday, Brian Friedman, the defendants were not afraid of the truth. The plan was not only to speak the truth. Okay, so this is Justin talking his ish. Let me see what Blake Lively had to say. So Blake said subsequently, okay, let me go to the quote. Friedman had been sanctioned by the court the week prior for making claims that were legally frivolous and factually baseless in the ongoing litigation. Ms. Lively provided sufficient evidence of all the following. She privately spoke up about and negotiated changes on set behavior by Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, that she and others found disturbing. 2, she reasonably believed in good faith that the behavior she previously raised concerns about was unlawful sexual harassment. 3, Baldoni, Heath, and Wayfair Studios understood that her claims amounted to sexual harassment allegations. And 4, in response, they crossed the line and took steps that harmed her reputation and career. The statement continued claiming that the beating heart of the case was the retaliation complaints. Blake then added her own statement. "I am grateful for the court's ruling, which allows the heart of my case to be presented to the jury next month." So it's going to try for retaliation and for the ability to finally tell my story in full at trial for my own sake, but also for those who don't have the same opportunity to many of whom I've known and loved deeply in my life, and countless I'll never know. She began. "The last thing I wanted in my life was a lawsuit, but I brought this case because of the persuasive retaliation I face and continue to for privately and professionally asking for a safe working environment for myself and others." She continued, "Don't be distracted by the digital soap opera. The constant packaging of this lawsuit as a celebrity drama is not only irresponsible, but it is by design to keep you from seeing yourselves in my story. The physical this statement is long. The physical pain from digital violence is very real. It is abuse. It is everywhere, not just in the news, but in your communities and schools. If you're looking, my claims won't be the first or last time you'll see examples of extreme dangers of retaliation and digital warfare. And it often won't be directed at celebrities or those who may able to speak up. It affects us all across political spectrum. Pay attention to all the ways we can be manipulated online. Digital manipulation has been boasted as untraceable." She continued. Oh my God, Blake, the statement. I couldn't begin to stand up. Okay, y'all guys can read this statement. I'm tired. Okay, thank you for all. I will never stop doing my part in fighting to expose the systems and people who seek to harm, shame, silence, and retaliate against victims. I know it's a privilege to be able to stand up. I will not waste it. Ciao. In case you are wondering how the online ecosystem is surrounding this case, people on subreddit that leans pro Baldoni were quick to say Blake was crashing out, scary, unhinged. So the case is going to go on trial on May 18th. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know. At this point, it's like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the situation. It's like, the case was thrown out not because it was found that he was not guilty, but it was found out because she's an independent contractor, not an employee. So it's like, it still doesn't mean that he didn't do it. You know what I mean? Allegedly, we don't know. So it's like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I've always been undecided when it came to Blake and Justin. Like, if y'all guys go back to my videos, I was like, I don't know, like a part of me feels like there was some misunderstandings. And maybe there's not a misunderstanding. Maybe there were some clear bad intentions. Who knows? Like I said, I personally feel like if there was sexual harassment, whether employee or independent contractor, I feel like it should be protected either way, across state lines, across all 50 states. I don't care if it's employee or independent. If it's true and there's clear evidence that there was sexual harassment, I feel like that person should be held accountable, whether male or female, period. So if Justin did do these things, like the whole sexual harassment stuff, and even though it's thrown out, but like if it is true, listen, we're gonna have to do our voodoo on him. Like, you know what I mean? We're gonna have to do it, like, because I don't stand for that. But then again too, it's like, we don't got the full story and the full gist of, because everybody's trying to make their side look good. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens at this trial next month. And I don't know if it's gonna be like a crowd style drag out fight the way that it was for like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing. I don't know how much the public interest is going to be into the story, especially because I feel like it's calmed down a bit. Because at that time you had like the conservative heads, you had Candace Owens. You know, Candace likes to do the pop culture talk now. And you know, Candace, it's no shade, but like Candace Owens always likes to take the man's side. It's not, we have to be honest about it. Like, Candace is not really like objective in that way. She low key gives me like, she's a pick me for like the men. So it's like Candace is that type that like that would always take a man's side over a woman's side. And it's like even like that, and don't get me wrong, like there's some things is like when Candace brought in Harvey Weinstein to try to clean up his, I was like, okay, girl, now you're doing too much. So it's like, I don't know. When it comes to Candace Owens, it's like I'm not really too much here for her comments, especially when it comes to pop culture. I'm not really too much here for that because I feel like she's very biased and she always takes like the unpopular side of it or like the more fringe side of it. So that's just my opinion. But I feel like the commentary around this kind of calmed down. So hopefully, and honestly, because right now the internet is not on Blake Lively's side. So it's like, for her sake, hopefully it's like a very quick, fast trial. And we'll see who wins in this situation. So good luck to both Justin and Blake, honestly, truly. Next, we gotta talk about, so listen. I remember when the half of the, because you know they didn't release the whole files. They only released half. Like when the what was it, 3 million pages or something like that. You know, a whole bunch of celebrities were named in it. But the thing, and I feel like we need people that are not like bad faith actors and like that are unbiased and like that are objective and like can read the files without trying to have their own like agendas placed. Because like, yes, there were like a ton of celebrities that were named in the files. Yes. Did all of the celebrities have something to do with like abuse and all that extra stuff and trafficking? No. It's like, for instance, like I remember when the files were released, I think Zohran Mamdani's mom was also named in the files. But like, I think, I don't remember like specifically, but like, but she was only named because like, I think Jeffrey Epstein or something like that was saying that like they wanted to go to her movie premiere or something like that. But that was like basically it. Like she was not like, that was like the only time like she was named in the files. And then like you had all these people in Zoran and like her comment section just going off talking about, oh, you're in the Epstein files, you were such, like saying all kinds of nasty things. And it's like, no, like I feel like people need to also make sure that like, because we gotta be honest too. Jeffrey Epstein he was a billionaire. He's not only connected with Hollywood, he was connected with the freaking whole world leaders. He was a Mossad agent. You know what I mean? So it's like, of course, like he's gonna be in these circles, and people gonna, you know, celebrities too are in these high circles, so they're gonna pass by. And I'm not saying all these celebrities are innocent, because they're not, but there are a few that it's just like it's a quick interaction, hi, bye, and we go on with our business. So I feel like, when I heard that Gigi Hadid's name, the Hadid's name were also in the files, I was like, okay, what is the context? Because I tried to do the same thing with Zohran Mamdani's mom, and it was just like they wanted to go to like her premiere or something like that. Like it wasn't anything like where she was involved in anything nefarious. So I'm glad that like Gigi, I mean, of course I know her team probably was like, oh no, don't address it, don't put flames in it, don't put fire, don't add more gasoline to that fire. But I'm actually glad that she said something about it. So we're gonna go to this article. Same thing from BuzzFeed. After Gigi Hadid was mentioned in the Epstein files, she issued a response on Instagram. Okay, because someone said something. So somebody replied to her about something, and she was just kind of over it, and she was like, "Listen, you're not going, you know, drag my name to the mud." Okay. So it says here, one of the many people mentioned in the Epstein files were curiously enough, Gigi and her sister Bella. So this is Jeffrey Epstein, and this was in the files, and I think it was like an email or something like that. So he said, how did the Hadid sisters became models and make so much money? I don't understand. A redacted person reportedly asked Jeffrey Epstein in an email. And then he said, you know, he replied before adding in a later email, because they followed directions. It's that simple. So he's trying to be funny. So this was someone that was replying to Gigi Hadid on Instagram. So this person said on a recent IG post, Gigi claimed that they had to unfollow you. So this person said unfollowed you because you ain't talk about those files, Gigi. And seemingly since the leader replied, Gigi addressed how it felt to see herself and Bella referenced in those emails. So this is what Gigi said. She said, made me sick to my stomach, she wrote. Horrible to read someone you never met speak about you in that way, especially in this context. Never in my life met this monster. To me, it was so obvious in that email chain. He tried to take responsibility of people's careers in order to manipulate his victims. In this case, whoever was emailing him questions about my career, who never saw the work he claimed he'd get them. I didn't comment because I didn't want to take away from the stories of real victims, of the real victims of his. But your comment made me realize maybe it's not clear, and it's important to let you know I grew up privileged, yes. But my parents protected me and taught me the value of hard work, the same hard work that got them to this country and gave them careers. We applied for, and my mom brought me herself to meetings with agencies in NYC just before I turned 18, 2 of which she was signed to in her career. Maryland's and Ford. I probably met with 10 agencies, only Maryland's, IMG, and maybe one other agency offered me a contract. I signed to IMG in 2012, and I've worked hard every moment since. To be named in those files, I think I was 20 or 21 years old at the time. He would have written that email. It's disturbing. And I want to state unequivocally that I've never had any affiliation with that disgusting human being. She concluded before adding, may he rest in hell. Okay. And I believe her. So I absolutely believe Gigi. I think that, when people are trying to attach you and your family to something that, especially something that horrible and disgusting, I get why